So Dylan, I'm pitching you, and what we're going to do here, folks, or what I would like to do is kind of do one just overall pitch. We're going to get any rebuttal you have, any crazy stuff you hear, and all the normal stuff you hear too. And Dylan, you're going to kick us off. You're the merchant. You can be a hard ass. You can be a lay down. You can be a guy that wants me. I don't care what you give me. Make it real. Give me what you're getting out in the field, because this isn't a lay down session. This is a place for everyone to come to hear how you handle certain rebuttals. And I'm going to show you how I did it for years, okay? So the way that I come in may not be the way that you come in, but if you have your notes with you, there are going to be lines, there are going to be little things, and just sometimes it's not a whole pitch that you need to change. Sometimes it's a one-liner. Sometimes it's just the way that you say it that makes all the difference. So let's rock and roll, Dylan. I'm walking into your business here. Knock, knock. Hey, what's going on?
Oh, it's going good. What can I do?
Yeah, you look busy, man. You look busy. I'm sorry to bother you under the car there, man. You're a busy guy. I'm gonna be real brief, man. You don't even have to jump out. I just got to show you this. You can just look over what it is. It's a program called the Cash Discount. It's something you may have heard of. You've definitely seen it all around you. But what this does, just to get to the point, because you're very busy, this eliminates all the fees that you pay to process cards and drops it down to a flat $25, $50, or $90. You're banging here, man. You've got a lot of cars coming in and out. I don't even know if this is your shop. You just look like you probably are. But this program, just looking at how busy you are, you're doing well over 10,000. Under this situation here, you would pay a flat $90 every single month. Now, I know I'm going quick here. What was your name again?
My name's Bill.
Bill, okay, Bill. So I don't know if you followed that. And again, I apologize catching you so busy, but what we're talking about is your bill going to a flat $90 every single month. Okay, so are you familiar with what I'm talking about and how much you pay now?
Well, how are you able to do that? How are you able to do the take out all these fees?
Well, what we do, that's a great question here. So let me show you, and you can stay down there, you can hop out, whatever you want to do. But this program literally eliminates the fees. Okay, so on a standard merchant account, you have all sorts of percentages and batch fees and transaction fees and annual fees and statement fees. And dude, you have all these fees, right? So if you check this out, everything's crossed out, right? So to get to your question, how can you possibly do that? The name of this program, again, is called, clicked the wrong button. The name of this program is called the Cash Discount Program. So the idea here is to incentivize cash paying customers. Obviously for you, if you could accept all cash, that'd be great because you don't pay any fees on it, right? You following me?
Right.
Right. So the problem is when people come in and they pay you with any other form other than cash, you're paying all those fees that we talked about. And before I go any further here, about how much are you paying right now? Because it's important for me to know. Are we talking over 1,000 or under 700? About roughly what do you pay a month right
now? In fees?
Yeah, in fees. And I know it fluctuates, right? So I know it's not an exact number, but what just in ballpark?
I'm paying about $900.
$900. Okay.
Fees around.
All right, so we're talking $800 a month here in savings. Without me looking at your statement, I've been doing this a while. I know everyone wants to see what you have. I'm telling you with this, it's $90, right? I don't even need to see your statement. And folks, I just separated myself big time by telling them I don't need a statement. All right, so the way that this works, to get back to your original question, is we incentivize cash. The way that we do that is the same as a gas station. The gas station down on the corner, you pull up to fill your tank, it tells you it's $2.50 a gallon. When you put your card in, it's actually $2.55 because that price they're showing you is the cash price. Some gas stations will be really upfront. They have a cash price and a credit price. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, I am.
All right. So what we're talking about here is that program. What they're doing is a program very similar to the cash discount where they're not absorbing the fees. Right? So right now you have this $900 bill and you're absorbing the whole blunt of that bill by yourself. So under the cash discount program, just like the gas station, instead of them absorbing thousands of dollars in processing fees, they're distributing it over all those hundreds and hundreds of transactions. So rather than them absorbing this huge bill at the end of the month, it's actually distributed over each transaction. Okay.
Okay.
Have you,
So what I'm hesitant about is I'm afraid my customers won't be very happy with the increase in with the credit card payments.
Yeah, no, I got you. And once we get to this point in it, that's always the main thing that comes up. But I mean, think about the gas station. Are you still getting gas down there? Obviously
Yep.
you are. You know what I'm talking about. I mean, if you really had an issue, you would get cash. And the fact is, you're still going there with a debit card or credit card. You know, I'm not even going to ask you. I just know you are, because this program, even though everyone has that same concern, it's just not what's, really happening out there. And if it was, I wouldn't be in business. I can do traditional pricing, but I don't do that anymore because this program has gone well enough that I'm not out trying to save you $45 on your $900 bill. I can save you $800. And the best part about it is people just aren't reacting how everyone thinks they're going to. So, I mean, have you tried to do this, or is this just, the first time you've heard about it?
Yeah, this is just the first time I've ever heard about it.
Okay. So here's how this all breaks down, okay? So you don't have all the fees anymore, okay? This 3.85%, I'm going to get to in a second, but at the end of the day, that washes away because there's a different price between cash and credit. All the other fees that you're used to, the batch fees, the annual fees, monthly minimum, statement fee, like I said, all those fees are gone. Right here is the one fee that you have. You have $90. Boom, I'm writing it in right there. All right. Everything else on this application is just basic stuff, right? You've done a merchant account before, but what I really want to show you here, because most people have switched many times, they don't want to do it anymore because they've been burnt. What we do is a free placement program, and it's a month to month. Sorry, I'm doing this on a computer here. So everything we do is month to month. And boom, right now, Dylan, I'm writing month to month right here. I'm going to start filling out this application, folks. You have to pull it out and you have to start filling it out. I don't care what you fill out something. All right, so Dylan, check this out, man. Free terminal, which is always the biggest concern. You've switched a bunch of times, right, Dylan?
I sure have.
All right, how many leases have you been put into and somebody told you it was free?
All of them?
Yeah, okay. So that's why I'm on this right here, because I understand what industry I'm in. I understand you've been burned before. So rather than you believing all these things I'm telling you, I'm going to show you all of it. So right here is the free terminal form. You pay nothing for this machine. We provide it for you. And right here, it is month to month. Okay, so just like the gas station isn't losing your business, I'm telling you, your customers, when they come in and there's a little sign that promotes a small service fee, aren't going to run for the border either. Okay, all I'm asking is that you give this a shot, run it for 30 to 60 days. If you don't like it, we can put you back on traditional and I'll still make sure you save money. Okay, but in the meantime, what's the address here? And I'm going to get out of your hair, but let me get a terminal on the way so you can put that $800 a month back in your pocket. What's the address?
Well,
here?
here's another one that I come across pretty well. Rebuttal is when I'm starting to initiate the close, they'll say, "Well, hold on, let me talk to my wife, or let me talk to somebody to see if I can understand this better from a referral point standpoint."
Your business partner. I got you. So be honest with me here. Is your business partner your wife, or is it like a brother?
Yeah, it's my wife.
Who's your business partner? Who
It's
is
my
it?
wife.
It's your wife. Okay, gotcha. So we want to talk to the wife, aka business partner. I got you, man. I run my business. I'm the same way. So let me ask you here. If you call your wife and say, "Honey, what are we gonna do with an extra $9,600 a year?" What's her response gonna be? What would she want to
be
do?
pretty happy, to be honest.
Yep. They all are, man. I know. Would it be if my wife called me and asked me that question? I'd say, "What are you talking about?" And then I'd have to find out and say, "Let's rock and roll." So does your wife come down here because I can respect the partner thing? But at the end of the day, that's what we're talking about. Okay, we're talking $9,600 just in 1 year. let alone, you know, you've been in business a long time. You start counting 3 years and 7 years, it just starts getting crazy here. You're talking 30,000 in 3 years. So is she coming down here today, or what's the scoop on your wife?
Well, she doesn't come here too often. I'll probably talk to her when I get at the house. That's one that I get all the time.
Hey,
Yeah, no,
Sam.
I got you. The only problem that I have is I won't be at your house with you tonight. and
Sam,
Why not?
you're running. Stop cutting in, please. And you're running your auto shop here, right? So I don't expect you to go and deliver this message and answer these questions, okay? Because she's gonna have questions just like you have right now. So at least let's at least make an effort. And let me just make sure I'm not wasting your time. If I can legitimately put $9,600 a year in your pocket, are we even being serious? Is that something you would be open to, you know, going a little bit further with?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So let's try to give your wife a call. What's your wife's name?
Margaret.
Margaret. Okay. Can we at least attempt to give Margaret a call? Because by tonight, I'm down the road. Okay. And by tonight, you're already off and you're busy with the next car. I've got your attention right now. And I know that as soon as I walk out of here, that attention is gone and it's very hard to get back. And that's nothing offensive. I just know that through experience. So while
I'll tell you what
go ahead.
I'll tell you what I can do. I'll call her right now and I'll have her come on down and we can all you can explain this to her in your own point and way and we'll see where it goes from there.
Awesome. I appreciate that. So I'll sit back for a second. You give her a call. I really appreciate that. All right. So I'm going to mute you right there, Dylan. Dylan. And all right. So Jandy, you're the wife. You're coming down. You're coming down to the business, folks. They are trying to put you off. You have to get it done today. Okay? Never do tomorrow what can be done today. Why are we waiting for the wife tonight? Why are we waiting for this? Why are we waiting for that? We have to address the problems now. Okay? So if I'm talking to someone and they're actually interested, I need to get to the bottom of their excuses right now. And what we're going to do on tonight's call, you're going to see that every rebuttal is just a fear-based fantasy they created. And it doesn't matter what they throw at you. It's just not logical to not do this. All right. So, Jandy, I'm going to call on you here. Jandy, if you can unmute. You just walked into the business. I'm just going to go by Jandy because I don't remember the fantasy names that Dylan made up. All right. So, Jandy, you must be Jandy walking in the door. How are you?
Hi.
Hey, Jandy, I'm sorry that you had to stop what you're doing and come down here. I appreciate you doing that, all right?
Okay. What's all this about?
So I'm going to give you the quick scoop here. I'll start right from scratch, okay? There's a program called the Cash Discount. You've seen it all around you. It's something that me and Dylan were able to verify you guys are familiar with on another level. But what this program does, just get to the point, is it gets rid of the fees you guys pay to process, and it drops you to a flat $90. Okay, clearly you guys are doing a lot of volume here. I'm literally saying this program will drop your processing fee to $90 every month, no matter how much you process. Because I know the next question, let me just show you how this works, okay? So all the fees are crossed out, okay? I know this isn't your first rodeo, not the first merchant statement you looked at. All the fees that you're used to are gone on this program, such as the batch fee, transaction, minimum, statement, monthly fee, and then you have all these other, you know, because I can fees that people are used to paying, okay? Are you following me so far? You're the one that looks at this stuff, right?
Yeah. I'm the one who keeps the books here.
Okay, so you know of all the fees and random stuff, so you can see that they're crossed out. So here's the bread and butter. Here's how it works. Let me show you, okay? And I am going to, sorry guys.
You know, Joe, we're with our bank and we just got with them about 3 months ago. We've gone through so many of you merchant services guys, and you know, I've really been burned so many times. I can't even tell you how many times, but we've been with our bank for the last 3 months, and you know, we're really happy with them.
I understand that. So most people, you know, there's a misconception on the banks doing the processing and ends up getting outsourced, but that's not what it's about here. So you went back because you've been burnt. And one of the things I talked with Dylan about, just flat out asked him, is how many times have you been burned? And that's one of the reasons why I always go here to the application, because I want to show people that, you know, I understand what you've gone through, and I don't expect you to believe the things I'm telling you, because I know that that's happened in the past. So the big reasons why people end up back at the bank is they're tired of paying for terminals and things like that. So just to show you, so you're not just listening, we do a free terminal. And then also I've already wrote in here for Dylan that everything we do is month to month. So the big thing about the bank and the big thing about anybody that's happy with their fees is at the end of the day, you still have fees, right? So you're still paying about $800 a month based on what Dylan said. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah.
Okay. So even when someone's really happy with the fees that they still have fees, right? So I'm not trying to bash the bank. I don't even know what bank that you're with, but if I can come in here and take an 800 bill and drop it down to 90, there's not really many scenarios that make sense why we wouldn't entertain that and at least try it out on a month-to-month basis. So what I was trying to get to, which I can't for some reason find on here, was—
You know, Joe, you're a really good-looking guy. You're telling me all of these things. It sounds so pretty and beautiful, but you know what? If it's too good to be true, it's probably not true. So I can appreciate that you're showing me this stuff, but and you're showing me the contract, but I've seen contracts. After I've signed the contracts, all of a sudden, by the month 2, things are changing. So
Yeah,
I'm not
so
sure.
The most common thing that happens when somebody feels that way is leasing, right? So you can see right here, lease, totally crossed out. And I've been doing this a while. I know the biggest way people get burned is they end up leasing a terminal. They get stuck in a non-cancelable deal. And then by the time you find out that it's not what you were told, you can't cancel. It's like I hear that 50 times a day. No kidding. It happens all the time. So that's why I keep going back to this, because I don't know if you know how this business works, but I make residual income. I don't know if you know that, Jandy, but when guys like me come in here, as long as you process with that person, they make residual income, meaning every time you swipe a credit card in here, the person that lied to you is still collecting money. So the reason why it's really important, and I keep pounding on it, that it's a free terminal and month to month, is because I have to have happy clients. I'm not locking people into situations they can't get out of. And the reason why that's important is if you ever stop processing, if I don't deliver to you what I'm telling you, you're just going to cancel. Literally, you're going to cancel. You're going to send the machine back. I wasted your time, my time, and everyone's time. But if I can deliver, if I can really make your bill $90, you'll never leave. And it won't be because you're in a contract. It'll be because you're month to month and you know that I was honest and actually delivered what I was talking about. So I get it. I don't want to be an arm twister here, but I really get the same thing all day long. And that's why I have to just keep telling you, it's not something you're locked into, and it's something you can try out. And if I don't deliver, then my money stops, and that's not what I'm in business for. Before
We're going to try this out. If we're going to try this out, what am I going to do with the current terminal I have?
Well, I mean, you have a couple options on it, you know, because most people want to test me, which I don't blame anybody for. I can respect that. You can keep that machine. Throw it in a box. You know how your merchant account works. You have some monthly fees. You probably have a minimum and statement fee and things like that. So you have a couple options. You can keep that machine if you really don't trust what's going on, and you can keep it in a box and make sure what I'm telling you is what I tell you. The other option is I can help you close that account down. I have a cancellation form here. So we don't want to send any cancellations today regardless. You want to wait until you get the new machine. Once it's plugged in and working, that's when you want to send off the cancellation letter. Or you can hold that, test me out for a month, and once I deliver, you're not going to go anywhere anyways. Does that make sense?
Okay, so I'm going to stick my neck out for a month to test you out.
I make residual income, and I promise you, if you try this out, you're not going to go anywhere. And that's how I actually make my money. Because when you're still here and you're still my account in 7 years, you've been saving $800 a month that whole time. And I've been making a little bit as well the whole time. So I appreciate you sticking your neck out for me. Are you incorporated or are you sole proprietor here?
We're a corporation.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Jandy. I hope that helped you out a little bit. Do you have any other rebuttals? We'll just pretend we're in the middle of a pitch. Do you have any other crazy rebuttals that you're getting out there in the field?
I had a rebuttal with arguing on the 4%. He said, whether I'm paying the 4% or the customer's paying the 4%, it's still more than the 3% that I'm paying right now.
Well, yeah, because the difference is the profit that we make. We're doing this for a profit, right? Just like you're running your business for a profit, but I don't understand what you mean by whether you pay it or them. You're not paying. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just trying to compare apples to apples. It's percentage to percentage.
Yeah, so I mean, even if you're on a smoking rate and you're paying 2.5%, I mean, you're debating with me that you're paying 2.5%, even though this 4% will leave you paying 0, right? You won't pay any percent now. So do you literally prefer paying 2.5% or 0%?
Right, but we're penalizing my customers.
Well, you're not penalizing the customer. For starters, this is the way that gets rid of your stuff, just like a gas station. Do you stop going to gas stations because of the cash and credit price?
No.
Okay. Well, that's the same logic here. So I understand it. I honestly get this one thing about 20 times a day, but it always blows my mind that people think the gas stations, it's okay. Or if you go on Fandango, or if you pay a utility bill, or if you do basically anything online anymore, you're starting to see these fees. And next time you go to Fandango, by the way, go calculate it. It's like 15%. So if you go and add a small service fee onto, the small transactions here, I'm not saying that no one will ever ask you what it's about, but if you explain to them, hey, I'm a small business owner and these fees have been killing me for years, I had to find out a way to get rid of them. And this is what I've come up with. So if you can in the future come with cash, I mean, people will actually understand that. How long have you been in this business, Jandy?
The car business? Oh,
Whatever
we've been doing
business you're in. How long have you been in? How long has this business been here?
we've been here for 20 years.
Okay, and this is an auto shop. Okay, it's hard to find a good mechanic, and I think your customers are going to more than understand if you're explaining it to them why this policy had to come into play, right? In order to keep your prices fair, and in order for you to maintain profitability and keep up with your costs. If it's explained to them, I bet you they'll actually not only not have a problem with it, but support it. And the ones that actually have an issue, it's hard to find a good mechanic, and they might just come with cash next time.
Mm-hmm.
I think your customers will support you if you explain it to them properly, right? You're not out to offend people and jack up prices on specific people, but at the end of the day, you're paying an extra $9,600 a year. And instead of you taking that the blunt of that yourself, if explained properly, I bet you that people would be willing to take their fair share to keep an honest mechanic in the neighborhood.
So our average transaction is about $1,200.
Okay.
So you're telling me that they aren't going to complain for a $45 extra fee?
Well, I can't tell you exactly what anyone's going to say, but I can tell you for sure that we have huge auto repair places. We even have sports car, like a Lamborghini shop. We have granite countertop stores. And one thing that we've learned about this program is it has nothing to do with the size of the transaction. It has everything to do with whether that business owner was properly trained and prepared to explain why and why this program is put in place. So that's what I'm saying. If you actually explain why this is being put into place at your business, then yes, I think that you will have a very minimal issue with that extra $48. But if you just put a sign up, or if you were to try to sneak it in and make people feel like they're being punished, then yeah, you'd probably have a problem. But when I bring this terminal back to you, I'm going to go over some videos, and I would like to explain to you how to prepare for this. And maybe I'll even run some transactions as your customers come in. So if and when it comes up, I can coach and show you how to handle it. Would you be open to that?
Okay, so you'll be here and help train us.
I install my terminals. I don't know about everyone else, but I come down, I install them, and absolutely, I'll help you put the signage up so it's properly displayed, and I'll sit and make sure you know how to use it, and we'll do that via a customer or two. I'll sit for a couple customers, and we'll see how it goes, and if it comes up, I'll help explain it for you, and you can see how to do it.
Okay.
Worst case scenario here, Jandy, because I can tell you're still a little on the fence, and last thing I want to do is people be uncomfortable when they get on board. If we give this a shot, I'll be your guy. I'm going to help you, and I'll take care of you. If there really is an issue, then we'll go back to traditional, and I'll still make sure that you pay less than you do now. But let's at least give it a shot, a real shot. Let me work with you, and let's see what happens. I know you'll be happy.
I got a customer right over here that I've got to.
Go handle the customer. Hold on. I'll back up. Customers first. Go ahead.
Okay.
If a customer ever walks in, guys, back out. Not out of the store. Back up. Back up. Like, no, go help your customer. Don't make them tell you to help their customer. Like if you go in and there's one person working a retail clothes shop, like she's the only one or he's the only one in there, and a customer comes in, you need to step out of the way and just say, hey, customers first, go handle your customers. And then what I used to always do is I would leave because my app is out. If I'm in that door, my app is out. It doesn't matter whether they're interested or not. I'm going to take my app, I'm going to take my flyer, and I'm going to kind of put it to the side of wherever I'm talking, which is normally the register. So I'm going to leave it on the counter, and I'm going to step back 15 feet and just kind of sit back, let her help her customer. But I'm going to leave my material up there at the top because I need to come back in for it. I need to come back in and talk. So as soon as that customer's done, I'm right back where I left off on whatever page of the app I left out on. All right, so the customer left. So Jandy, sorry about that. I know I'm coming in unannounced. This app literally takes me, Jandy, about 3 minutes. And before your next customer comes in, I can have it wrapped up. And then I'll see you in about 7 days. I'll help you install it. Are you incorporated here, or are you a sole proprietor?
No, we're incorporated.
Okay, boom, boom, boom. So that's my closing question. I either would say, are you incorporated or LLC, or what's your business address? Where am I sending the terminal to? And I'm going to put that in the business address. Jandy, I hope that was helpful for you.
Yes, thank you.
You got it, and I'll send out a recording of this as well. There we go. Rick Bray, let me get Rick on. We got 7 more minutes, folks, and we're gonna jump off here. What's going on, Rick?
Okay, you got me?
I've got you, man.
There we go. So,
Rick, I'm walking in the door. Knock, knock. What's going on?
Hey, how are you? What can I do for you?
I'm doing good. You look like a busy guy, man. I apologize for interrupting you. What was your name?
Rick.
Rick, I'll be real quick to the point, man. I know that's how you're going to want it here. So my name's Joe, and what I'm doing is I'm going over a program called the Cash Discount. You may have heard of it. It takes me about 12 minutes to explain, but I have a 3-minute video that does it for me. And what it is, before I press play, is it gets rid of one of the biggest expenses that you have here at your business. So here, check this out.
Are you tired of credit card processing fees eating away at your hard-earned profits month after over $10,000 a year in fees? With EasyPay's CDP, say goodbye to your credit card process fees and ask yourself, where would you reinvest that much extra profit? Start your 30, 60-day trial today and say goodbye to your processing fees.
So Rick, man, I know you're a busy guy. If I could do that for your business and eliminate your bill down to $90, what would you do with those savings, man?
Oh, I'm sure my wife would find some place to put
it. Where are we going on vacation, honey?
That's right. That's right.
The question. So have you heard of this before, or where's
No, can't say I've heard about it. But you know, how do I keep my clients from getting upset at this fee?
Okay, good question. I'm just going to put this out here just so that you can see all the fees are crossed out. So I'll leave that there. So that's always the main concern. People are concerned about what their customers are going to say, or, you know, when they see the signage, what's going to happen. And surprisingly, it's gone really, really well. And I say surprisingly because when I first heard about this, I had the same initial response. I honestly wasn't sure if this was in the merchant's best interest. But as time went on and as statistics came out, I really was like, this is not going away. So we went out and we tested it with a large handful of people first, and it's gone extremely, extremely well. And the best thing that I could relate to an average person is the gas stations, right? All the gas stations have the cash price and credit price, and it's not scaring us away. and it's having that same effect on the average small and medium-sized business as well. I mean, you're familiar with the gas stations, obviously, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and you still go there. Like, do you go to an ATM and pay a $2.50 fee to avoid the 30-cent fee?
No, I would never do that. No.
Yeah, and that's just kind of what we're seeing across the board here. So, on the app, again, all the fees are crossed out. I know what industry I'm in. I know everyone's been burned. Here's the one fee, $90. Rick, I'm telling you, this is $90 every month. I don't care if you process 20,000 or 220,000. I'm providing you with a free machine. You're not leasing. I'm not locking you into a contract, and I'll just re-verify that right here by writing in month to month. It's a no-brainer, man. Let's get rid of your bill.
How do I? That sounds great, but how do I get my customers to understand this? How do I explain this to them and move forward with them? Because I'm going to probably upset them. I've had them for a long time.
Yeah. So the idea here is definitely not to hide it, obviously. So that signage that you saw in the video, we post for you. So when they come in, there may be a couple of people that ask you questions about it. And the way that we explain it to people is, to keep up with costs. These fees have been costing you, $10,000 a year for years. And in order for you to maintain profitability, you had two choices: raise the prices, which kind of hits everybody, including your cash paying customers, right? And they're the ones that should be rewarded, which is the idea of this concept. Or the other option was implement some sort of program that helped offset those costs, right? So I think, you said you've been here a long time, and I think when properly, when you tell it to people properly, they actually are pretty supportive about it when they find out how much you've been paying. Not that you need to tell them how much, but most of your customers don't even know that you pay fees to accept cards. Like, when you implement this and you actually explain that, you're going to be blown away that people didn't know that, Rick. And once they actually find out, again, you don't need to tell them how much you paid in fees, but when you just say, hey, man, these fees have been killing me for years, and I had to do something about it. So it is what it is. And next time, if you can grab some cash, that'd be great.
Oh, cash would be good, but I know somebody's going to give me a hard time about this. Is there any way to not have to put signage up?
We do have another way, since you led into it perfectly. I was inching my way there. So yeah, so Rick, we're talking about $10,000 a year. And honestly, I get the, not wanting to put signage up. I'd be lying if I said no one ever said anything about it, but it's actually gone really well. However, because that's always the biggest concern that people have, we do have another way of doing this that eliminates the same amount of fees, the same amount of money. And here's how we do that one, okay? Let me just show you this one.
Pay eliminating up to 95% of your credit card processing fees is an option you have most likely already heard of. It's called the cash. Thanks for your time.
Boom. All right, so that's how we're able to do it without you having to put up the signage. So definitely there's a little more legwork involved here on going this route, Rick. But honestly, when we tested this, we tested for 6 months. We've had 0 complaints, because this is a way that people are familiar with that doesn't take an announcement, right? And what we're talking about is 4%. What kind of business do you have here?
It's a marina.
It's a marina. So,
yeah.
I mean, we have a flyer here to kind of show all the different types of businesses. Obviously, we deal with a lot. But when you're talking about a 4% price increase, it's not such a huge amount that it kicks up all these waves, like you're thinking the sine well. And at the end of the day, when your cash paying customers are still going to be discounted the 4% and get today's current price. So if you remember, I said something, you kind of have a couple options. One is raising prices, but that would affect your cash paying customers, which should actually be rewarded. This program actually does that. It allows you to raise your prices without punishing your cash paying customers, which are the ones that should be rewarded. So it takes a little extra work. Does this one make more sense to you than the
it does, but my labor rates are right now are $99.50, and I hate to raise them up over $100, because then it makes me, it's just that mindset.
I gotcha. So maybe in your case, just like a gas station, it's not all of them, but some of them actually say credit price, cash price. So by adding the 4%, it's going to mark you just up over that, right? Like 103 and some change or whatever. But maybe up there on that board, you continue to keep the cash price up there. I mean, we want to really incentivize cash and check because you don't have fees for that. And if you are willing to do both, it will take a little extra work. But again, we're talking a lot of savings here. If you're willing to do that, then at least there's an option up there that keeps it under $100. And I guarantee you that you will see more cash and more check by implementing that.
Okay.
It's the only way I can tell you to keep your price at $99.50, yet implement this program at the same time. Fair enough?
Right. Fair enough. Okay.
Try it out, man. I'm telling you, it's month to month. The terminal takes about 7 to 10 days to actually get here. So that gives you a little bit of time to kind of get your new prices put together. The prices that are up there right now, up above, just put cash. And then to the left or to the right, wherever you want, put the normal price.
Okay. Good.
All right. There you
Good.
go. Any
Thank
other
you.
rebuttals you're getting, Rick?
No, I mean, that's been, you've answered in the last previous, everything everybody else was talking about. That answered a bunch of them.
All right,
So,
perfect.
no, that's
Perfect.
great.
The biggest thing here, folks, before I jump, I do like these calls. I know there's more stuff. I know these are the kind of calls that can keep going and going. Rob, I see your hand up. I'm going to call on you. I'm kind of running out of time. But the biggest thing when it comes to rebuttals is there's no reason to put them off, right? There are some. There are a couple things that there's just nothing you can do about it. But most things can be handled now. I'm in a contract. Let's call your provider. I need to call my CPA. Perfect. I love CPAs. They refer me all their business. Call her, right? Call. Do it today. There's no reason to put it off till tomorrow. And tell them. I know when I leave here, it's going to be almost impossible to get your attention like I have it right now. What we're sitting here discussing is something that's going to put thousands of dollars back in your pocket. So I need to do something about it while I have your attention now, because tomorrow things are going to come up and you're just going to be busier and busier and busier. It's going to be very hard to get back to this, even though it's the most profitable thing on the schedule. Handle it today as best as possible. Mike D, I'm going to call on you. What do you got, Mike? I saw your hand go up here. Mike is a beast. Mike's 10 deals in his first week. Mike, what's going on? If you want to unmute, now's your chance. Robert Winkler, I've got you unmuted. Rob, did you have something you wanted to throw in there?
Yes, sir. Hold on. Where do I get?
Mike, I'll get to you in a sec. Go ahead, Robert.
I'm trying to get the mute. Where's the mute?
You're okay. Do you want to talk, Robert?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
Okay, very good. One of the things that I hear frequently is I've already calculated my cost into my base and I have no reason to change that. It's just the cost of doing business. I'm very satisfied with where I am. I don't want to add these prices to my customers.
Are you telling me that you never shop around? You've never shopped around for a lower rate, and if there was a lower rate that walked in your door through the same provider, if your provider called you and could lower your rates by 50%, you wouldn't take it because it's built into your price?
That's the reason I went ahead and saw you, but the moment you told me what you're doing, I'm not interested because I've already calculated that cost into my prices.
Yeah, but what about when the cost goes up? Visa, MasterCard raises their prices twice a year. So you're not calculating it twice. You're not raising your prices twice a year, right?
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
You're losing money every time they raise the prices. When you work with me, you'll never have to raise prices. You'll never have to shop around. You'll never have to wonder if you have a good deal. For $90, this becomes part of your long list of things to do as a business owner that you don't ever have to worry about. $90 gets you peace of mind. You never have to worry about raises and price increases ever again.
I got you. Thanks.
You got it, Robert. Keep killing it. Mike D, you're the last one, and then I got to jump off so the Zoom is open for the next group.
Hey, that's good. I don't want to give you a rebuttal. because you know, when you're out there, it's hard sometimes, and that's the way it is. But I'll tell you what, guys, most of it's excuses. It's excuses. They will give you an excuse every time, and what you need to do is just isolate the objection and overcome it.
Right.
And that's what puts the deals together. With that, I'll let you go.
And that's why a deal, Mike, can take 30 minutes, because after you kill one rebuttal, they have another one.
Well, sure, but when they got a rebuttal, you just isolate it and overcome it.
I know, man. And they will keep coming until you get to the end where you're like, all right, you have no legitimate reason not to do business. And Mike's absolutely right. You have to kill the exact rebuttal they're giving you. Don't make rebuttals. Listen to what they're saying. Kill that rebuttal. What's your address? New rebuttal. Kill it. What's your address?
That's right. Find what it is and close the deal, guys. Quit worrying about the excuses. They'll always come up with an excuse.
Yep.
But you got to isolate it. That's not their real reason not for buying today. You got to find the real reason, isolate it, and overcome it.
Yeah, today. Never do it tomorrow. It can be accomplished today. Folks, have a great night. I hope that call was helpful. Thank you, everybody, for participating. Have a great night. We will see you at the top.